Get Buzzer YouTube, 6-Foot Hacks here. Happy you guys today. Another post-narrated replay, and as you can see, this is actually OU. Yeah, I know that's pretty crazy for those of you who aren't aware. I mainly play lower tiers, anything but OU. I do like Ubers though. I kind of want to get into Ubers. I may do lives for that because I know not many people upload Ubers. But let me know if you guys would be interested to see OU lives. I know a lot of people do them, like Blunder, Jamvad, and Joey are known for doing OU lives, but let me know if you guys would like to see OU lives coming from me, or would you like me to just stick to the regular lower tiers. So yeah, just leave a comment down below, and if you enjoyed this video, then you know what to do. If you missed my previous upload, a link to that is down in the description. And with that being said, let's take a look at team preview. This is not my team, of course, with me not knowing much OU. This is a team that I got off of the team building thread on the Smogon forums. If I remember, I will leave a link to that down in the description for those of you who may not know much about OU and would like to try it out, or would like to request teams to be made around cores that you may have thought up of. But this is a really cool team that was based around Choice Banded Dragonite. For those of you who don't know, back in Black and White 2, Choice Banded multi-scale Dragonite was terrifying. Fun fact, for those of you who don't know, in early Black and White or Black and White 2, when Dragonite's hidden ability multi-scale was released, it was actually being considered to be suspect tested and banned to Uber. Believe it or not, that is not a lie. If I remember correctly, that actually did happen. Unfortunately, with 6th gen and the introduction of fairy types, Dragonite has really just fallen from grace. Too good for UU and BL, but unfortunately not good enough to be very common in OU. That's why I really wanted to use it. But yeah, we have Choice Band Dragonite Scarfed, Magnezone with Magnapool, so Scizor and Heatran shouldn't be too big of an issue, and depending on what kind of set Scizor is will determine on how I would deal with it. As long as I have Landorus and he's not Swords Dance, and I somehow lose a Scarf on my Magnezone, I'm not too concerned about his Scizor. We have defensive pivot Landorus, physically mixed Deontay, Mega Deontay. Next we have Calm Mind Latios and Choice Specs Keldeo. Now, if you've been paying attention, Superior literally just 6-0s this entire team, which really sucks. So obviously my best lead in this match is my Magnezone regardless, because he also doesn't happen to have a ground type, which means my Magnezone can pretty much outspeed his entire team and Volt Switch on it for free, unless this is Scarfed Kieran Black, which since I last played OU, Scarfed Kieran Black was the most common set, but I have been seeing mixed variants become more popular, and if for some reason Superior Scarfed, then he can outspeed me, so I'm not too concerned about that. But going into this match, I knew that I really had to watch out for his Superior. My Keldeo also can pretty much get a straight OHKO anytime I bring it in for free on the Heatran or Rotom or Scizor and Tyranitar and Kieran Black. Pretty much I can get a free kill with Keldeo on 5-6 of his team, except for this Superior. So Keldeo for me in this match is going to be a huge team player. Tyranitar is going to be an issue mainly for my Latios. Even though he does have Heatran, I don't really see Latios doing too much in this game. Mega Deontay can actually really come in handy, as I can outspeed and knock out this Rotom, Tyranitar, Kieran Black, and Heatran with the proper coverage moves. But yeah, anyways, going into this battle, I'm going to be leading off with Magnezone, because again, if he leads off Superior, he outspeeds my whole team, gets a boost, and then I'm pretty much in an uphill battle. But he actually ends up leading off with Kieran Black, which I was actually very close to just hard switching out, fearing the fact that maybe he could be Scarf. But as I said, I have seen mixed Kieran more often, and a couple battles before this, a Kieran that I faced was mixed and not Scarf, so I just kind of based it off of that, and luckily it does work out for me as he hard switches on out into Heatran. I'm guessing he also thought that maybe I would want to switch into my Deontay on the off chance that I would predict him to go for the Earth Power, or maybe I can bring in my Dragonite or Latios, but just staying in I think was the better play, because even if he had gone for the Earth Power, that would have given me a free switch into Latios, Keldeo, Landorus, or Dragonite. So him hard switching out is very good for me, as I'm able to Volt Switch, get off a decent little bit of damage on this Heatran, and now I can go ahead and bring in my Keldeo, and we're gonna play a game of pick a fodder, any fodder. So he's gonna leave in his Heatran, which I'm assuming is his Stealth Rocker, because there's a chance this could be Scarf Tyranitar or Choice Banded Tyranitar. So I more than likely am able to prevent him from getting up rocks, which is really great. So now I don't have to worry about the multi-scale on my Dragonite being broken until he's able to get up sand with his Tyranitar. Now unfortunately, because I did straight Oko Heatran and prevents him from getting up rocks, this gives him a free switch into, hey, what do you know, it's superior. I have one of two plays that I could have done here at the moment that I was thinking about the play that I should make. I can leave in Keldeo, hope that maybe he over predicts and thinks I'll switch into Dragonite, Latios, or Magnezone right away, and double switch out into let's say Scarf Tyranitar, sorry, or Rotom for some reason. So I can just stay in here, Sacred Sword, whatever comes in, and potentially 2 KO or straight Oko it. However though, the other play I can make is switching directly into my Magnezone as he goes for a Leaf Storm, and then I'm in a position where I can go straight for the Flash Cannon, either knock out this Superior or get off enough damage to the point where I can then revenge kill it with extreme speed from my Dragonite. A problem with that though is that then he can switch out and save his Superior for later in the battle once he is able to knock out my Dragonite, if he plays around it correctly. So ultimately, not wanting to risk losing Dragonite in the long run of the game, even though Keldeo is literally the biggest threat to his team, I can't safely switch into anything that the Superior wants to go for, or if he does switch, it would be good for me, but in the long run the best play for him to do is just Leaf Storm, because if I'm not Scarf Magnezone, he can then outspeed me. After +2 he can knock out Latios with Dragon Pulse, he can still outspeed Mega Deontay. So regardless, I was pretty much forced to spotter off Keldeo, but the Magnezone play is something that I could have done as well, as I can now bring in Dragonite. My multi-scale is luckily intact. I am going to go for the E-Speed just because I don't have Fire Punch. Otherwise, I probably would have gone for that to just straight knock out the Superior. Regardless though, Extreme Speeding is the safest play I can do here, because I'm pretty sure he's not going to risk bringing in the Scizor, because I could go for Fire Punch. So ultimately, E-Speeding here was my safest play to do, as he does stay in. I failed to knock him out, and he does a pretty decent amount of damage to my Dragonite with the Dragon Pulse. So I'm kind of hoping that he's just going to fodder off his Superior here, so I'm going to stay in and E-Speed again, as he actually brings in the Rotom. I'm not sure why he didn't bring in a Scizor. I guess maybe on the off chance that I wasn't choiced, or I did predict that and doubled into my Magnezone, which is what I could have done, I guess, and that actually wouldn't have been a bad play for me at all, now that I think about it, because I should be able to take a +2 Dragon Pulse coming from Superior at full HP. So yeah, doubling here would have been a pretty nice play if I had done that, but it's fine though, as I will be able to eat a Hydro Pump. I really thought that he would go for the Will-O-Wisp. Even if I did bring in Landorus, he could just burn it and cripple it for the remainder of the battle. But he does Hydro Pump, does exactly 50% to my Magnezone, and I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch, expecting him to want to go for the Volt Switch of his own, predicting me to Volt Switch. I then bring in Landorus. Even if he does Hydro Pump, it's not really that big of an issue. I'm fine with it, because I can still take on Tyranitar accordingly with my Deontay. I can outspeed it and weaken it for Tyranitar, for Dragonite to weaken it, or Dragonite can weaken it for my Deontay to knock it out, or my Latios can then outspeed it and knock it out. So regardless, even if I Hydro Pumped here, I could live and then still be able to get up my rocks to help me in the long run of this battle. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up my rocks as he's able to 2KO me with the Hydro Pump. He's hit 3 Hydro Pumps in a row. So my boy is a little bit lucky here, as I'm going to go ahead, Mega Evolve, get my Mega off, and then outspeed him and knock him out with the Diamond Storm or Moonblast if I'm not mistaken. I was a little bit weary of Moonblast knocking him out because I am actually I am max attack Deontay, not max special attack Deontay. So this unfortunately invites him to bring in the only Mon that can check me at this point, which is Scizor. I'm not sure why he didn't bring in Superior. I guess in that case he would have given me a free switch into Dragonite, or then I could have just brought back in Magnezone and then Volt switched, or a Flash Cannon. But regardless, because he brought in Scizor on my Deontay, I don't want to potentially risk him being a Swords Dance Mega Scizor, so I'm just going to stay in, go for the Hidden Power Fire, even though I am not running any special attack investment outside of 4, if I'm not mistaken. If I don't knock him out, I'll bring him down to where Magnezone can come in, chew a +2 Bullet Punch potentially, and then Revenge Kill it with Volt Switch or Flash Cannon, whatever I see fit. So he ends up knocking me out with the Bullet Punch, reveals that he is actually leftovers, and now I'm able to trap him. He's going to not be able to knock me out with any move that he wants to go for unless I go for Hidden Power Fire and fail to knock him out, and then he superpowers me. But he's going to Bullet Punch. HP Fire is a straight OHKO, and he's going to end up bringing in a Tyranitar. Now, it crossed my mind that, okay, he had leftovers on Scizor, so maybe this is Mega Tyranitar. And from X and Y, Mega Tyranitar liked to run Dragon Dance, which means I just locked myself into Hidden Power Fire. He resists Hidden Power Fire, and he can pretty much Dragon Dance here and win the game if I'm not able to knock him out with a Flash Cannon after I fought her off Latios. Luckily though, lucky for me, lucky for me, he doesn't Dragon Dance. He does knock out my Latios, but he doesn't Dragon Dance, so now I can bring in my Dragonite. Even if he wants to switch into Superior, he's not going to live after Rocks. So I can pretty much safely go for an Adamant Choice Banded Earthquake. Although I won't be able to knock him out, I will do enough damage to where my Magnezone can then come in, and because I am Scarfed, again, unless he Scarf Kyurem, he can't outspeed my Magnezone, and I can just lock myself into Flash Cannon, easily outspeed this Kyurem, knock it out, and then Superior will be at 7% after Rocks, and Magnezone putting the team on his back there, pulling out the victory. And I think actually I knocked out Superior, knocked out Scizor, knocked out Kyurem, and knocked out a Tyranitar with Scarf Magnezone. Who knew Scarf Magnezone was still such a giant threat in the metagame? But hopefully you guys did enjoy the quick battle. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much about my thought process, and you guys did enjoy. With that being said, let me know if y'all would like to see some OU lives in the future. You know what to do if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to check out the previous upload, and I will most likely be uploading again tomorrow or the day after, so be on the lookout for that, guys. Thank you all for watching. Later, bye.